Welcome back to Tech After Dark. In today's video, I'll be reviewing the DualSense wireless controller by Sony and kind of take a look at the last two generations of PlayStation controllers. The PlayStation DualShock 3 and the PlayStation DualShock 4. So we're going to check these all out. I'm just going to share with you some of my thoughts and opinions on the controller and what I've found I liked about it, what I disliked about it over the past couple months here playing with the PlayStation 5, as I finally got a console here and I did do a first impressions look on that. But yeah, so I'm going to be kind of looking at the DualSense controller first before I review the PlayStation 5. So I've been playing Control mostly on it, and that is a PlayStation 5 upgraded game from PS4, and they do have the haptic feedback and everything like that. It's quite impressive actually. I have it loaded over there on the TV. I can kind of show you kind of what I mean by some of the guns and some of the haptics in this controller as well. So in this game Control, you can kind of see if I kind of walk around, it'll actually start to vibrate my controller in each step, and it's actually quite dynamic, and it almost, you kind of get lost in the gameplay a bit more. I don't notice the footsteps kind of later on, but they're kind of still there and you kind of know that you're obviously walking, but it kind of brings you into the game a bit better than not. And so this game includes quite a few weapons. I still haven't unlocked the newest weapon, but kind of a couple examples here, and I can show you the other weapons. So when we zoom in here, or even when we're walking around, this is the grip pistol. It's kind of just a regular pistol, but as I actually pull the trigger here, it actually stops midway. So you can kind of hear it. It kind of pulls back. And there's actually a little bit of a vibration in the controller, and it's also audible, but if you have headphones on, you won't actually notice it all. It's quite quiet. But where the left one, there's kind of nothing to it, currently in this game. And other games do support sometimes the left trigger there. But the right trigger here is most important for firing the weapon. And if I switch over, there'll be a little bit of a sound in the controller, and then I can go and fire the gun, and it vibrates and rumbles and really tells me that I'm shooting a shotgun, which is really sweet. And if I switch over to some of my other guns here, so this is the spin one. Kind of hear that, it kind of just really rumbles, and it's quite the gun actually. Can really hear it. When I switch over, it kind of rumbles a bit when it switches, because it's just adjusting the vibrations in the trigger mechanism here. And the whole controller actually haptically vibrates, so you can really feel the energy coming from the gun, and you can really try to be immersed by that kind of feeling. I think in the future when they put more haptics and kind of get that going in VR, I think it would be amazing to kind of just feel that type of haptics, because with the Nintendo Switch, they first kind of had this type of haptics. People were enthused about it, but when the PlayStation came out with their own haptics and a bigger battery and a kind of a better controller to hold on to, you can kind of really feel those vibrations in first-person shooters, third-person shooters, stuff like that, even crossbows and everything like that. You can really feel the whole game, and I think it's one of PlayStation's best features actually. So those are some of the weapons here in Control. Really awesome game. I might be halfway through or so, and I've been really enjoying it so far. And This is obviously a spoiler-free review of the controller. I'm not going to talk about this game too much other than the vibrations in the game actually. So that's kind of a really little look at one of the games that kind of support that kind of haptic feedback. And it's really quite awesome. Even in Fortnite, you have the vibrations as well. Call of Duty Cold War has it. I'd like to try more PS5 games that utilize the DualSense, but until I can upgrade the M.2 SSD internally, I can't do much when it involves downloading these types of games. As for like the feel and kind of how it feels in the hand, as they say, it's really quite awesome. Like the other controllers here, when you kind of pick it up, the DualShock 4 is pretty good. It kind of is almost an in-between, since this is more closer to like an Xbox controller, where it's a little bigger for your hand and comfortable, where the DualShock 4, like, it actually holds better than the DualShock 3 over here. And this one is a tried and true classic. It's kind of small, you know, they more maybe marketed it for Japan, but it's still a great little controller. But the best thing about these PlayStation controllers is that you can actually play the DualSense on the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 3. And that's a wild ride of a time. And that's an amazing feature. So you can take your old controllers and play on the PlayStation 3. And obviously you can play all the PlayStation 4 games on the PS5, or if you have another PS4, you can just hook that up through Bluetooth. So it's not through a wire, but you still can, but the Bluetooth is still very low latency and everything like that. And obviously this controller has Type-C, and it still has a 3.5mm headphone jack with charger pins. So you can just put that on the controller dock, up to 2 controllers for the official PlayStation product, and that'll charge away. And it also has a built-in mic, which is really clutch, and I found to be really useful actually, especially when sound doesn't really matter in your place. You can kind of just pick up the controller and play a game, and if you need to talk, you can talk right away. You don't have to find your headset, plug it in, and it has an actual built-in mute switch right on the controller here. And you can quickly mute it right away, just like that, boom. And then a little pop comes up and you're muted. And it's really nice to just search on Netflix or anything like that, or YouTube, whatever you want. And you can search right away, and it's actually pretty good on the voice recognition. It really knows what you want to say, so you don't have to type, but you can still type and use the motion just like you did with the DualShock 4. And surprisingly, the DualShock 4 works on the PS5 completely with the PS button and everything, but you just can't play PS5 games with the DualShock 4 for some reason. I don't know why they didn't support it. Maybe it was just because they wanted to sell more DualSense controllers. And currently there's white, which comes with the controller, which comes with the console, and then there's red and black, and those are $5 more depending on your region. So these are more like $89 CAD each, which is pretty pricey. And I might get another one when an awesome PS5 game comes out, but for now I'm going to stick with the one here, and I'm just going to use my older DualShock 4 controllers and try those out on most of my PS4 games, because all I really have these days is PS4 games and the odd PS5 game like Control and a few others on PS Plus. But yeah, this controller is pretty sweet. It features a 1500 milliamp battery versus the 800 milliamp battery. And it lasts pretty decently. You might get like 5 to 8 hours depending on the gameplay, but I'm probably not going to be playing for like 8 hours long. So I just plug it in whenever I don't need to charge, whenever I don't need to play. And everything else about this controller feels really good. It almost takes the PS Vita type of D-pad in here with the clear kind of buttons and feel. I think everything else is quite similar. I think they have the same joystick controls from the DualShock 4. And originally, this was actually a newer controller here. My old version 1s, they all kind of just got ruined. Maybe it was because of NHL or something, but upon repeated motion of the joystick, it had controller drift. And I think Sony's in a new lawsuit now with the controller drift. But yeah, they pretty much transferred these joysticks over with a few touches on the actual joysticks. They had a few more grips on it, grip pattern. This should last you quite long, but they've kind of measured it, and the condition of these controllers only lasts maybe for like 2 years or so with actual normal use, which is okay, and you might get more, but they just rate it for about 2 years or so, a year to 2 years. But just maybe be careful. I might actually put on thumbstick covers just to protect it a bit more. But other than that, it's pretty beefy, awesome little controller. And it has, like, you know, the motions, accelerometer, built-in gyroscope kind of stuff. It's quite an awesome little beast, and Type-C is one of the best features in games. And they've kind of kept the touchpad here, and they've basically kept all the buttons here. So you have the share and the options button, and you've also got the touchpad, obviously. But yeah, that one's actually bigger and more center stage, and that acts as a start and select kind of button on PC. And when you plug it into the PC, you just gotta note, you gotta probably add Steam games, and you can actually just go into big picture mode and select PlayStation controller, and your games will actually work perfectly after plugging it in to the wired mode. And I think you can do Bluetooth as well, but once you do that, you will still probably see Xbox little icons, which is fine. But yeah, this works great as a PC controller as well, and thankfully Steam adds a PlayStation support, so you can just go right ahead and play games like that. And the iPhone actually added support for the DualSense, so you can also use this on iPhone or Android and use it as a game controller to do remote play, or some games supported on the app stores. But overall, I'm very happy. A couple things here, like I've noticed in Control, I've been using the X button a lot, and I've only had this controller for a couple months, and I think you do have a year warranty on these things. And it started kind of to stick a bit, and I wash my hands before playing the game, so I don't have any like chip fingers or anything like that. So I am very careful with it, but I've just noticed a little bit of sticking on the X button, and I think it should go away, but I just wanted to note that because a couple months use, 2 months of use on this thing, and I've just seen a little bit of wear and tear. But I'm very careful. I plug it in. I don't do anything crazy with it, but yeah, those are kind of my thoughts and opinions on this controller, and it's kind of a simple video, and I just wanted to make through the generations here from 2006 to 2013 to 2020 in kind of the generations of controller, where they've kind of kept this style for PS1, 2, and 3 with the joysticks added, and the DualShock 4, which they really tried to make that controller amazing. And then now we have the haptic DualSense. And I think this will really last you here, and it's going to be an amazing controller for the future, and even your PC. It's really sweet, and the whole advantages of PS5 and everything. But this is a really awesome controller, and I really recommend just picking it up even on PC. Even though Xbox configuration, you'll still see Xbox buttons, but I think that's completely fine, and I think it's a really enjoyable little machine, just a little on the higher pricey side of things. So those are kind of my opinions and thoughts. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.